morning, good morning, good morning. As you guys come into the room, can you guys just drop a comment in the YouTube live chat so I know who's in here? Again, for those of you guys joining the room, can you guys just kind of quickly send me a quick message on live chat in YouTube to let me know who's actually in the room? I could just see how many people are in here, but I can't actually see who. Yo, what's up, Aaron? We got those numbers coming out here, so market can be a little bit volatile. Mr. Putz, what's going on, buddy? Again, what I'm looking at, what's up, Thunder? What I'm looking at is still long, right? So I'm still long bias just due to the fact that the daily chart, okay, if we look at the NASDAQ 100 here, we're still above, and this is actually the third day above the 50-day moving average. Aaron, the comments I don't think are posted. I think because it'll be new comments for people that are viewing it on YouTube, but as far as this live chat, no. I'm still long biased just due to the fact that we're above 50-day moving average. We're above the linear channel as well as our 5. So that's why I'm still long biased. Now, does that mean that, the market can't pull back 300 points today? Of course not, right? We could pull, realistically all the way back on the NQ to like 15,450, right? And context would still be bullish for next week. It would just be a backtest of its rising 5-day moving average. But again, if we can get a little bit of continuation and a little bit of confirmation today to the long side, and we can make a little bit of money to the long side, it's Friday. I know a lot of you guys are either green or very, very close to being green. I would definitely wrap it up as early as possible on a Friday. Normally for me, Fridays, if I can't catch anything within the first hour to 2 hours, I'm normally done. Again, what I also want you guys to understand today too is we could get a pullback because it's a long weekend, right? So it's a holiday weekend. Do a lot of big money players, and I'm not speaking hedge funds or institutions, but even your big retail traders, right? Guys with multi 6-figure accounts, 7-figure accounts. Are they going to want to hold long over a 3-day weekend, right? As we've seen the last 3 years, 3.5 years, anything can happen in this market, right? Anything can happen in this market. They could drop a news hit piece over the weekend that, the United States is, going back into lockdowns and the market sells off 500 points over the weekend, right? I wouldn't put anything past these guys anymore. But with that being said, if we can make a little bit of money either side, whether it's long, if we can find an opportunity, or short, let's go ahead and lock in those gains. So if I'm looking at the NASDAQ 100 here, which is the NQ, we would need to get over 15,661. Again, if we can get that confirmation, take profits on the way up. What we would be looking for, anywhere between 15 to 20 points on that initial move. Sell, move your stop loss to break even, and then hold those runners to see if we can get, capture 30, 35 points. So I'm just going to quickly kind of be zooming through, different charts here as we go along. And if I see something that I'm interested in, particularly that I'm going to look to be trading, I will definitely blurt it out there. But again, as of right now, what we would be looking at is those pre-market levels, right? So I'm still looking at Tesla. The last 2 going on 3 days, we've been consolidating sideways here in this bull flag. I'd like to really see Tesla get over $260.50 for a long position. And to the short side, we would need to break below 256, and then I would need that top of the hour, the new hour candle, to confirm, so I can have a short position. And below 256 would have room down to around 253, 252. But again, if I can get the 260.50 break confirmation to the long side, I will jump that long. If we look at Nvidia pulling back slightly here off the open again, we are going to have those numbers in about 15 minutes. So the market can be a little bit volatile, right? So what I'm looking at here on Nvidia, if we go back to Wednesday, guys, if we go back to Wednesday, we've got Wednesday's high price at 499.35. That would be the entry for a break scalp long on Nvidia. 499.35. That's got initial room to start pushing really into the low 500s here. You know, with honestly potential to move to 508 before it hits next hourly supply. Again, you know, am I sitting here telling you guys that if it breaks 499 that we're going to 508? Of course not, right? But at least we know how much potential we have in the trade. So that does give us a little bit of confidence that, you know, we have open skies ahead where we can catch a couple of dollars off this thing. So again, you know, as the market's opening up here, pulling back just a tad. If I look at the ES kind of holding out here on the hourly time frame, I'll kind of toggle back between the 5 minute as well. So 45.47 is the highs that the ES printed. That's going to have initial room to around 45.50s, and then anything over 45.50s could stretch to 57s. Again, to the downside, right? If you notice over this dotted line, we've got a lot of airspace. That's telling me a lot of empty space, right? There's no supply. We don't have anything going on here on a 5 minute time frame. However, if you look to the downside, you know, we've got support here at the 20, the linear regression, the 50, this, that, and the other, right? So although we can continue to wash out, it's taking those short positions that can be a little bit more tricky just due to the fact that, let's say, for example, we get short at 45.37, right? We're going to run into supply at 45.34. So, you know, if we lose 37s and come down to 35s, and then it could snap back, right? You know what I'm saying? So the shorts can be a little bit more trickier when we're oversupply. Generally speaking, you know, when you're in a bullish context, you know, off the daily and the 4 hour kind of time frames, what you would be looking for is those pullbacks into those rising supports, and then you want to bounce them, or you want to sit and wait for the breaks to the high side. So for example, on the ES on an hourly time frame, if we do pull back into 45.35, technically would be a bounce long spot. And then if we lose that, right, and let's say we get shaken out of that trade, you know, our next potential bounce is 45.29. So, you know, the ES really doesn't look like a short until it starts to lose like 45.23 and 45.18. So 45.23, I would be interested in a short position into 45.18. But again, let's see what the market wants to do. You got ES pushing up towards the high side here, 45.75. Should have room to 45.50s, guys. Or 45.47, right, would be your initial kind of supply here. And you would be looking for something like 45, the 45.47s has room to the 50s, and anything over 50s to 57. So watch for that confirmation there. Looking at this Tesla pushing up higher here, you know, got rejected on its 5 minute, pulling back just a tad here on this first opening 5 minute candle through pre-market lows 255.95. So let's call it 296. Might have some potential down, but you can see here the rising hourly support here at around 255.83. In order for me to want to go short on Tesla, I need to wait 30 minutes. Okay. So for my short positions, just to make this very clear here, I've got to let the first 30 minutes pass. It's just how I trade. Unless you know, you can catch something off like a 2 minute chart or a 5 minute chart. For example, like right now, the 2 minute chart setting up short for Tesla, you know, it's got about $1 down, right? About $1 down through these pre-market lows. Which, you know, you can definitely take it, but the risk is a little bit higher on the 2 minute time frame. So there's an actual 2-minute 20 SMA play setting up here. Potential is into 255 even, so you got about 60 cents worth of room there. And then we need to break through that 255. What are these contracts trading at today anyways? 255 is going for about $1.50 on Tesla. So again, maybe some of you guys who necessarily don't trade Tesla and Nvidia, you know, maybe Friday's a good day to kind of play around with it. If you got a particular level that you're looking at, right? There goes that Tesla short, guys. There goes Tesla short through the 255s. There's your first initial push, right? Through the 255s. That's your first initial push there. And look at how it goes in there. It puts in a little bit of a low and then it immediately spikes back up. That's why I'm saying short's a little bit more tricky. However, 5-minute time frame also gave you that nice breakdown here on Tesla as well. If you look at that 255 that we already had marked out, that's going back to yesterday's lows. We've lost yesterday's lows now on Tesla, right? So again, if you yeah, Tesla just went. So if we're not getting into that first initial move to where we're going to hold this, and you're interested in taking Tesla to the short side, you know, give it 30 minutes, allow the first hour candle to close, and if we have confirmation at the top of the hour, right, which is going to be at 7 a.m. my time, look at where Tesla's stopping on the 1 hour chart here, right at the 50 EMA. So we see that this purple line's a little bit faint here on the screen, but again, the 50 EMA is sitting at around 254s, 253.90s. We have potential to get to 252.75, guys. 252.75 would be potential on Tesla. I would take profits into that area. Again, now, if you're looking at a 2-minute chart, you should be sitting short. If you're looking at a 5-minute chart and you wanted to play the pre-market low break or the 255 break, you should also be short. And you're taking profits on the way down. Look at the NQ here, pulled all the way back here. NQ setting up a possible 5-minute 20 SMA play here, guys. We're going to need to let the next 2 minutes close before we see if we get that breakdown. NQ's coming down to the 200 SMA. Yeah, so it's just a 200. So what I'm curious on here, 52.80, is if this candle closes, right, anywhere near this 200 or below it, it's also lost the short-term change in trend being the 20 SMA. If we can confirm this, I would be interested in a little bit of a short position here because it's also on the hourly 20 SMA, guys. This looks like a very good scalp play setting up here on the 1 hour as well as the 5-minute. If we can get that confirmation. This is an hourly chart, guys. You see how we're sitting right here at this purple line, right? That 20 SMA. Again, the scalp position is going to come from the 5-minute chart. If you're looking for the bigger move, it's going to come at the top of the hour when this candle, whatever it closes at, gets confirmed at 7 a.m. my time, right? The room that we have down is 15.521. 15.521. Initial potential here is the 50 SMA on the 1 hour time frame. Again, the reason for the little bit of a stand and a little bit of a bounce here is it's running into the 20 SMA for the first time on the hour chart. If I go back to the 5-minute, right, we came all the way down to that 200 and now we're getting a little bit of a bounce. So if we get the confirmation below and it looks like a price, and we got about 10 seconds left. If we start getting a confirmation below like 15.550s, it is a short position for a scalp. Again, you know, what we would be looking for somewhere around 15-20 points on that initial move. Our potential bounce, right? Even if this wants to bounce here, again, I want to draw this out for you guys. So our 5 SMA on the 5-minute time frame is right here. So if there is some type of bounce, I would look for a bounce in this area and then a loss through these lows, right? That's what I would potentially look for if you want to wait. Great trade, Aaron. Great trade. The 255s was a great move. I have them as well. Again, guys, I kind of leave just like for, you know, for purposes for the streams and everything. I'll have what I'm talking about on the screen, but like I do have like 4 monitors, so I am looking at other names as well. And then when I bring them to the screen that you guys can see is because there's something of interest. But yeah, I see the Tesla. I just kind of bring that back up for everyone else here. So the Tesla 255 break put in that initial low to 253.37. So again, anytime we take these type of plays, right, guys, anytime we take these type of plays where we're losing a pre-market low or one of these pivot levels that we had marked out, we're taking that first move. We break that, we get our dollar, we get our $1.25, we just get the hell out, right? That's it. And then if we want to continue it, either there's 2 things that can happen. Either we are holding a runner now on Tesla, right? Either we've got a runner and we're holding that runner using break even as a stop, or we are allowing the first 30 minutes to close. And then if we get the confirmation of whatever low that has been put in, that has taken out a level of interest that we were looking at, we can then either add to our position if we're holding a runner, or we can start a new position. That's it. Majority of the guys here in the room that have been trading with me, you know, there's a lot of new guys that have recently come into the room here. Again, I know everyone's going to be at different stages with the way that we trade here, but you'll have guys that have been in the room for, you know, quite some time. Andre to be an example. There's Biggs as an example, Sheppy or Addy or any of these other guys that have been here for a very long time. These guys are making the majority of their money in that first 30 minutes, and then if they don't make anything in the first 30, it's the first hour, right? Because we're looking for that something to confirm at the top of the hour. And realistically, I think that's the best way to do it. Honestly, if you can come into this market and pick off some profits within an hour to an hour and a half, I really wouldn't trade anymore. Like it's not about, hey, we made a little bit of money here off the open. Let's continue to look for trades, and it's, you know, 12 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it's like, we're still looking for trades. It makes no sense. Trade for the freedom of time, not to be enslaved to the charts all day, guys. Again, pulling the NQ back up here. Hey, Aaron, how many contracts did you take on that Tesla? NQ's holding the 200. I'm gonna need to go get to a store this morning, guys. I think I burnt the shit out of this mouse. Like I just burned a hole in it, in the sensor or something. It's been acting funny all week, really slow. Yeah. Anyways, what Nvidia is at the pre-market low. Thoughts? Yeah, so Nvidia did break the pre-market lows. No, what was the pre-market lows here? Pre-market lows on Nvidia was sitting at 255.60s, and it put in a low to 253. So if I was to look at the hourly chart on Nvidia, yeah, see how we broke the pre-market lows? The pre-market lows short position was at 255.60s, and it ran right into hourly support perfectly to a T. That was a great setup too as well, because even on the hourly chart, it lost a 50 SMA. So your confluence on the oh, I'm still looking at Tesla. My bad, guys. My bad. That was Tesla. So what I'm looking at on Nvidia, yeah, I know. I was looking at Tesla. My bad, guys. I was like, why does this chart look so familiar and look so perfect, right? It looks so perfect. Anyways, I wonder, Andre, are you in here? Did you take that Tesla short? There's your pre-market low loss on Nvidia, guys. Nvidia has room down to 485. It's also losing yesterday's lows here at 489.50s. So Nvidia is going to have initial room on the 1 hour chart to 484.70s. 484.70s on Nvidia. Yeah. So 484.70s, 485 is our potential on Nvidia if we can get this to continue to push down here. If the market's going to continue to pull back a little bit, that's the first zone that we would be looking for, is 480, 490s, 485s. So we got about $2 worth of room in there. You know, if I was to quickly pull up these NVIDIA contracts and see, you know, what are they trading at, right? I know everyone's pockets are a little different. Everyone's got, you know, different account sizes. But for example, on a Friday, your premiums are going to be a little bit less. We're looking for around 485s. You can go with like a 485 put, guys, for like 50 cents, right? So 50 cents, 60 cents, somewhere around that range. You can really load up on these contracts on these particular moves. Now, again, you know, I'm not sitting here to say that to, you know, have everyone chase this move, but I'm saying if you start identifying these moves, like Aaron, good call out. Aaron, good call out on that. Loss of the pre-market lows, absolutely dumped, right? So from entry of the pre-market lows, that's around 490, right? Yesterday, if we want to use yesterday's lows, we're using 489.50, right? 489.50. Below that, you know, we're looking at 485, okay? 485. So, you know, it's definitely moved. It's definitely gave us a little bit of opportunity there. But again, if you are late and you didn't pull the trigger, there's nothing wrong with it, right? We've broken down these levels to the downside. All we need to do is do what, guys? Wait. All we need to do is wait for these levels to get confirmed. Again, anyone who's short NVIDIA or did take that, you know, 485 is potential take profits into 485. Yeah, I know. But the thing is, Aaron, you identified that, right? So if you've seen that, use that as confidence for taking the top of the hour confirmation of these lows, okay? This mouse is acting funny. Big nasty pull here on the NQ. So the last support that we have here on the NQ hourly is around 15,496. All you futures traders, if we can confirm this hour candle's lows, which is going to close out here in about 12 minutes, and we start to break down below 15,495, that's a short position, guys. We've got a lot of airspace down. This market can completely flush into this long weekend here. If I look at the ES, again, I haven't even looked at the 5-minute chart yet, guys. So for those of you guys playing the 5-minute chart, you know, was there a 20 play that set up short, right? Start identifying them. You guys don't need me to sit here and hold your guys' hand, right? 45.22, right? 45.22 on the ES. If we get confirmed at the top of the hour, it's got room to 45.17. That's also another short position there. Beautiful. Took some of the NQ under the 200. Of course, yeah, you know, they always do. They always go a lot farther. They always do. They always do. But it's all good. It's all good. As long as we can take some money out of there. As long as we can take money out of the market. We're coming right into that support here, guys. Did anyone else take Tesla? Guys, did anyone else take Tesla? If anyone else took Tesla, take profits. Big dump here. 255.67s is a hell of a level. The 255 was a fucking hell of a level here. Down trading at 252. Take your profits. That's $3 down. That's all you're looking for, guys. If you didn't take that trade, there's not a problem with it, right? It's not the end of the fucking world. However, I want to be able to make sure that everyone's identified that level. Did we identify that level, right? Pre-market lows, yesterday's low price here, right? Yesterday's low price, pre-market lows. 2 levels of confluence. Loss of the 50 SMA on a 1-hour time frame. Room down, maximum potential to 252.80s. Where are we stopping? 252s, right? Do we see that? So when we see these plays, we dive into it. We dive into it, right? We dive into it. We don't hesitate. What's the worst that can happen? You're going to lose. What's been happening, guys? If you're not profitable on the year, meaning if you're not a profitable trader, meaning you're, you know, that IRS man, Mr. Uncle Sam is not taking a huge fucking capital gains tax from you, like this son of a bitch did for me this year, then you're not profitable, right? What you've been doing is not working. So start doing something different, right? If trying to get perfect entries or trying to wait for more, you know, different strategies or you know, a new group or you know, a new book or whatever, you know, new news piece, I don't know. If it hasn't been working, you know, change it up a little bit. The 255.60 is all the way down. I'm not even going to come back to this Tesla chart until the top of the hour starts because the move happened already. So we need, okay, for some of the newer people in the room, if the initial move on Tesla short through pre-market lows happened already and it paid, for those guys who didn't take this trade, what level are we looking for a short? Be someone besides Andre, because I know this guy already, you know, knows this shit. Somebody besides Andre, who here, what's the level short on Tesla for the new hour candle? I'll let one of you guys give it to me, right? I'll let one of you guys give it to me. The market pulls here and continues to flush. Let's watch Amazon 137.80, guys, confirmation. 137.80, Amazon confirmation. Again, it pulled right into its hourly 20 SMA, but also someone give me the level on NVIDIA, guys. What's the short level on NVIDIA? Again, this room here, especially to some of you newer guys who just came in the room, this room is not about me, you know, telling you when to buy and when to sell. Thunder got 5 points for the day. This guy's been killing. I think he's like 5 days green in the past 6 days or some shit like that. Great job, Thunder. Again, you know, 251.70s. Let's see. Yeah, for some of you newer guys in the room, maybe some of you guys who just came from YouTube recently and who, you know, haven't really been in my Discord long or the community the way I work, I'm not going to sit here and hold your hand and tell you, hey guys, buy here. Hey guys, here's this. Hey, here's profit zone 1. Here's profit zone twice. Because you know why? It'll be too fucking late, guys. I don't care if I give you guys the level and then I give you guys a profit taking zone. You're going to be too late because you know what's going to happen? I'll be in the trade. Someone else will be in the trade. We'll be posting gains, right? Example, we'll be posting gains and you guys will be wondering, well, how come they're posting gains and I barely got in? You have to be able to, as a trader, need to identify the levels sooner. Okay, so we got 251.70, 251.95 on Tesla. As of right now, that low wick, 251.60s, that could have changed. You guys are both correct. Yes, so what we're looking for here is a confirmation through the first hour low wick. Okay, boom, both are correct. Again, you know, the levels here, 251.70s I got. Who gave the 251.70s? Aaron? Yeah, John, 251.90s. That wick still could have been moving there for you, John. But yeah, that's what you're looking for. You would be looking for a confirmation of the first hour lows. And again, you know, can you do this with every stock? No, right? You need room. So what's going on here on Tesla? Right? What are our levels? What are our areas of confluence? Tuesday's lows, you know, essentially Wednesday's lows, essentially Thursdays and today's, right? We're losing a 4-day consolidation. 4-day consolidation. If this thing confirms to the downside, it's definitely got room to 248, right? It's got room to 248. That's another 3 points. So again, if all we're looking for is $1, $1.50, $2, and there's $3 of potential with no support, is that trade worth taking? Sure, right? Does it have to work? Of course not. But what's the worst that can happen? You lose? Okay, so size appropriately. Size appropriately. If you guys are going to play options, you know, there's no reason to load up, you know, 50 fucking options contracts here and try to hit a home run. You know, take one, especially if you're new and especially if you're just trying to get your feet wet, you know. Take the short through 251.70s. See if it stretches down into 249, 248. Allow it to play out, right? Allow it to play out. That's the only way you're going to learn. So good job on identifying those. And then we have the 484.80 on NVIDIA, right? Is that what we're at here? We're right down here at this hourly linear. 484. What is it? I think it changed a little bit. 484.60, 484.60, something around there. Close enough, right? And that's another thing, guys. it's never going to be to the penny, right? So that's another reason why, you know, I hate when I hear, you know, especially when I hear other traders that come into my room, you know, and it's like, well, this other person that I was following or someone I was trying to learn from said, you know, if it hits this price at this exact penny, go long and sell at this exact penny. That shit never works, right? That shit never works because you can be off by 2 pennies. What are you gonna do? Not take the trade? Watch the damn thing go against you $10, or watch it go, you know, in your favor $10 and you never took the trade because it was short by 2 pennies, right? It's levels, guys. It's levels. They're zones. So yeah, we would be looking for 484.60s, 484.70s confirmation on NVIDIA. Look at this. Look at it get sucked back up here off this linear regression here. Did anyone else take that Tesla, guys? If anyone else took the Tesla, make sure you took profits off the table, please. Okay, the 255 breaks. You even could have gave it, you know, you even could have jumped. Yeah, 255. 255 was a good break. Yeah, take profits, guys, because we sunk, right? We sunk into support. Now it's wicking back. So what do we wait for now? Confirmation. First play was done. So for all names, it doesn't matter what you're trading. All plays are done now. The first, like those first opening break plays, right? Pre-markets or a previous day high or low. Those plays are over now. Those plays are over now. So, you know, what you do now is now you wait for price action to confirm the opening range of the first 30 minutes, okay? So again, if our first trade was short on the day, great trade. That's over now, right? That's over. If we want to see continuation of a short-sided play, we need confirmation to the downside. If not, you can start looking to the upside here off that bounce. Andre's looking at NVIDIA over 495. What's 495? 5-minute chart? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Over the 20 SMA? Is that what we're talking about here? Yeah. So does everyone see why he's looking at that, right? Does everyone see why he's looking at that, right? Here's the initial move. Here's your initial 20 play on NVIDIA short, right? So if you are playing the 20 plays, you know, there was your initial short setup. There's your reason why. This is your pivot down here. This was your entry candle. And you take profits, what? 2, 3 pushes lower. So 1, 2, 3 pushes lower, right? You take profits. Or, right? Or you take profits into a level of demand, which would have been here. So if your entry was here, you take these 2 bars. Yeah, so if we look at why Andre's looking at that, so big drop here. If we can punch back up, put in a high over this 20 SMA, and it pulls back and then goes, yeah, you want to be long here because then that's going to identify to you that this potentially could be the low of day, right? If this is just a bounce, for a continuation of that short play that, you know, we're looking for short here with the levels that you guys were calling out, those first hour lows. So what you would want to see in that particular case is to get rejected at 490 all the way up into 493, 494, and then come back down, okay? And then our short position is through the loss that time. Does anyone see that? Good job, Thunder. You took 20 points off the ES this week. Great job. Great job. Yeah, look at Crackhead. Hey, guys, I want to make a point here. I don't even think he's on the live stream because he kind of works in the morning or something. So he was green on the week, right? And he does. I don't really think he gives a shit about telling his story. But again, he was green on the week and then gave back a good chunk of profits yesterday, right? Instead of getting down on yourselves because you have a big loss yesterday, the dude comes back today, takes a $433 gain off the open, not only wiping out the losses from yesterday, but adding to his already green week. Again, guys, yesterday was a shit day. Do we not all agree? Like, the price action was shit yesterday, right? It's like, if you made money yesterday, consider yourself lucky, right? There was a lot of people who lost money out there in the trading world. A lot of people who lost money yesterday. So if you made some money yesterday, you did a fantastic job. If you didn't make anything yesterday or you broke even, you know, it's not the end of the world because you get what? Another day, right? There's always another day. There's always another trade, right? So if you feel like you can't get something going, don't sit there and try to, you know, beat yourself up. Don't try to overtrade. Don't try to win back losses. Wrap it up. Come back tomorrow. Guys, we got 22 trading days in a month. You can essentially make your month's P&L in 1-2 days. In 1 or 2 days, right? In 1 or 2 days. So, you know, one trade can change your month. How are we looking on the NQ? Big print, you said? Yeah, big print. So market likes the reaction, right? As of now, market likes the reaction. So what do we do now? We draw out our lines in the sand, our levels to the short side. This is what you guys all need to start doing now. You draw out the first hour's lows, guys. Draw it out. I don't care if you got to mark it, right? If you got to mark it, you got to put a fucking drawing thing on there. You got to take a screenshot. I don't care. You mark out the day's lows. That's what's called your line in the sand. Your line in the sand, okay? If we confirm the line in the sand, we go short. If not, we look for the positions back up to the upside. That's all we do. Good little trade there, Aaron. Good little trade. NVIDIA, Crackhead Penguin, all pumped up on the video. Great job, Penguin. All fired up, boy. So I'm talking about, guys. It's, you know, there's always another opportunity. Even when it feels like it's the end of the world, there's always another opportunity. Stay patient. This business all about keeping the lights on, right? What was that old Motel 6 commercial? We'll keep the lights on for you. You got to have the lights on, guys. You got to keep the lights on, right? Turn them off once you get inside, obviously, but keep the lights on. So line in the sand on NQ 15498 to the downside. Okay, look for the setups to come back up to the upside if that's the low of day there. If not, we're going short below 15495. If we look at Tesla, right, we've got our line in the sand that actually dipped a little bit lower, so I'm going to adjust this. Wow, I really got to get to the store and get a new fucking mouse. 251, guys, to the short side on Tesla. That's your line in the sand. I honestly really don't even, I mean, 253. Maybe a position here, again, for aggressive scalpers, maybe a position 253.50s into 254 and 255, maybe. Okay, that's risky. You're using 251 as a stop, right? So notice this candle here, right? Notice this candle. That low wick is your stop on a potential bounce. Again, confirmation through 251 is a short position, because I believe on the hourly chart Tesla still has more room. Yeah, Tesla's got room. So Nvidia coming back down as well, guys. So keep an eye on that line in the sand on Nvidia. It's sitting at around like 484.50s, I believe. I could be off a couple cents, but 484.50s, right? Maybe 484.60s. Again, you guys never quote me on the exact penny, right? So I'm putting these lines sometimes so fast that, you know, I'm just glancing at the charts here. I'm not going to sit here and give you the exact penny, but 484.60s. Nvidia. Amazon also as well, guys. Line in the sand needs to get drawn on Amazon. Amazon starts losing 137.90s. Again, this doesn't mean that I'm looking, oh, I want to go short now. No, I want to know that when I come back to these charts, I've got the levels on there so my eyes can be drawn. Apple would be 188.25. 188.25, but it is pushing higher. Apple's pretty strong. What's the ES doing? 45.21 into 45.18. ES is punching higher as well. Yeah, let's see if the market likes those numbers, guys. We can see here initially the initial reaction from the numbers is decent here. Is decent. Yeah, a little bit of a battle here on the 2 minute. I mean, excuse me, on the 5 minute 200. Again, too, guys, just so you guys can start identifying patterns, right? If this is a drop, if this was the drop, just using your eyes, you don't even like. I don't know if any of you guys like use Fibonacci retracements and all that bullshit. You don't really need that stuff, right? Like, I mean, just let your eyes tell you. If this is the drop and this is the bounce, what percentage of a bounce would we say this is? Like, what percentage of a bounce would we say this is? 25% bounce, 30% bounce, right? Drop, bounce. Would we say this is 20 to 30% of a bounce here, maybe? Just using our eyes. Because the point I'm trying to make here is that when you get these drops and you get these bounces like this that are like going to stay below like 50%, yeah, like a third, right? So again, if the bounce never really gets over like 50%, right? If the bounce never really gets over 50%, there's no long. There's no long. Because it's guys who will get long here and then it comes right back down, right? So again, anytime you see these moves, because these moves happen in the market all the time, long and short, we go down and then we start to reverse, right? But if like realistically, like if we don't like at least bounce over this 50% mark and then like kind of chop around and then hold these lows and go higher, then the move is going to come back down 9 times out of 10. So what are we waiting for in this particular situation? If we didn't take this candle on a bounce here on the NQ using this low of day as a stop, right? Then what you're essentially doing is just letting this play out. Letting this play out. How much does it want to go? How much does it want to go? Because if the market's going to be strong, it's going to have to break at least 50% of the decline, and then it's going to have to hold this level and then continue higher. So then we want to go long there with profit taking potential at the high of day and then holding the runner to see if we can take out the high of day, right? But as of right now, we have to just let this move play out because again, I think I mentioned this yesterday. What is this, right? For all of you pattern traders out there, this is just, you know, a little bit of a bear flag. So again, was there a bounce opportunity on NQ? Yeah, it was here. If you missed it, oh well, now you got to wait. And also too, whenever Biggs in the room, he gets back from his summer vacation here, he's really good at picking off these, like he calls it bottom fishing, right? We call it bottom fishing. Is fishing these candlesticks here, right? So we look for drastic declines, whether it's down or up, it doesn't really matter. Then we look for these type of reversal candles, and then what we try to focus on is You know, I call them change in trends, right? Or indecision candles. It doesn't really matter what you want to call it. But when I get a candle that looks like this, and I see that we don't make any continuation low, what you start looking for is a confirmation, green over red, right? Now, even though this candle is green, it's still on a down move. It might as well be red, right? This might as well be red. So what you look for on taking these type of bounces is when green takes out red through no continuation to the short side, boom, long. Take profits into your areas of supply. We noticed this Tesla as well. Green taking out red, punching into areas of supply. So if Tesla starts to get over 254, what's our next supply? 255.80s, right? 251 is your stop. So you're giving yourself about $1.50 worth of stop. Many ways to trade the market, guys. Many ways to trade the market. What did that Meta do today? Did it confirm those highs or lows? 301.75 to the top side could actually be adjusted. It's like 301.80s. 301. 301.75. And the line in the sand to the downside on Meta is 295.50s. 295.50s. This can get deleted. Yeah, let's hope so, right? Let's hope so. The sun always shines brighter when the market's moving up. Here we're getting a little bit of a break here on the ES, right? So we've kind of, we put in that little bit of a 50% retracement. Here's the initial down move. We've retraced about 50% off those lows. If we get a confirmation here to the long side, would not be opposed to taking a trade, right? So again, 45.41, 45.41. This candle needs to close though. We still have a minute and a half. So we'll let this candle close first. And a stop loss would be like 45.34. So you give yourself about 3 to 4 points, 4 to 5 points worth of stop loss risk. So on this particular play now, this is our stop loss, right? That's our stop loss. We need this candle to close, and let's kind of see how this plays out. Attaboy, Penguin. Long live the beak. Netflix exploded. Netflix exploded this morning on a 5-minute time frame, came up to its linear regressor, pulled back down to the 20, and then ran. So realistically here, the opening range on NVIDIA was 441.30s and it traded up to 445. That's a fucking hell of a move. That's another good thing about adding more of you guys into the room as you guys get more comfortable. We can start putting guys on different names, right? So like, you can have someone looking at Netflix and Amazon, and someone would have been waiting for right? If you were watching Netflix, guys, if we were watching Netflix first hour highs, look at this, right? So if you were watching first hour highs, even the pre-market highs over previous day highs, wow. When did I have Nvidia or Netflix in this watch list this week? Yeah, 440 long was from yesterday, guys, or 2 days ago. Damn. That was here. But anyways, you know, if someone was watching Netflix today, they could have been sitting on this level here, 437.23, or they could have been sitting on 438.23. And this would have been 100% full go, right? 100% full go. Even if you didn't have these prior two levels here, which these levels are perfect, right? Wednesdays and Thursdays highs, if we take that out, go long. Okay, but even if you were waiting for the first hour candle to close on Netflix, 441.30s, guys, ran all the way up to 445. That was a hell of a $2 trade there, $3 trade, $4 trade even, right? So if we look at it on the 5-minute time frame, off the open, we never tested the 441, right? That was your first hour's highs, obviously. You came, you put in this high, you just allowed this to do whatever it wanted to do. First hour closes here, and then boom, here's your confirmation. Boom. And then where would we be taking profits, right? This is our first hour high, and this is our supply zone. We're taking profits into supply. Boom. Beautiful trade. So yeah, so let's get more people learning the system, learning the strategy, because it's definitely going to help out everyone in the room, especially when we can identify the levels and be able to call them out like that. Anything else moving out there? Anything else look good? Yeah. The NQ move, yeah. This 15,600 level on NQ has been an area of trouble all week. I feel like I've blurted that level out all week. 15,600s right in this area. Let me zoom out. Yeah. Going back to Thursday and yesterday, yeah. So the 15,600 has been acting as an area of resistance. So if the NQ can start punching over 15,600, market should be pretty strong going into next week. If we start to lose 15,500, market should be extremely weak next week. That would also be your short position. 15.5s. Stay patient right now, guys. Yeah, so that might be a good trade, right? That might be a good trade if we can get it to go. Does everyone see that? So for example, if 15,600 has been acting as an area of resistance all week, essentially, right? We've been above it, but it's been acting as an area of resistance. If we can take out the 20 SMA, put in a high over 15,605, and then confirm, that's a hell of a long position, right? But again, you know, look at the move. We could be coming down. There might be a little bit of a short play here, right? A little bit of a short play there. Or there might be a short play below this, right? So again, you know, the market can do whatever it wants. Our job as a trader is just to kind of identify those areas that we need to wait for and be patient enough to let them happen. So again, you know, if we do take this break, right? Let's say we do we break above the 605s. It's going to put in a high, okay? We know that. It's going to put in a high. It's going to come back down. You'll also have another position when we come back out or when we break the new high. You can use the lows as a stop there and get in on this type of run, or you can wait for it to confirm the whatever new high it puts in over the 20 SMA. So just kind of be patient. I'm going to leave this on the screen, guys. I'm going to go downstairs real quick, get a glass of water, and I'll be right back in a minute or two. What's going on, guys? Nothing much yet. So I want to also show you guys something here too while we have a little bit of time. So if we look at the NQ, okay, look at the NQ, we had the consolidation to the top side, right? We had the consolidation at the top side this morning. The 661 area was that high side break. Now, when we had the drastic pull and we lost this 20 SMA, this was a huge candle, right? So a big stop loss would have had to have been put in place for that short position. However, the loss of the 20 was very significant, right? This is a very powerful red bar here. We sat right at the 200. If we confirmed the 200 short, it would have been a good play. Now, it would have been a good play into where, right? Even if we didn't have the big chart up where we can see all the levels, look back to the overnight session lows, right? Look at this low price that we had down here, the 15,498. If you could have drawn a demand zone somewhere in here, right? This is where we came down to. This is where we bounced, right? Could have just drug a little bit of a demand zone. At least allow a couple candlesticks in there, 1, 2, 3, 4 candles or whatever. You could have essentially made this your demand zone. You could have taken this 20 play here with anticipation of taking profits into that demand zone. And you would have taken profits perfectly, right? Now, of course, I knew now that it bounced from here, right? I didn't know at this point in time that these candlesticks were going to, come down to this level. But we had this area here. So if this area showed us that we bounced one time, we've got to respect it, right? We've got to respect it. Look at where price action was kind of trading of, even if I didn't have this 200, right? If I was to say something like this, okay, well, this is another bit of a demand zone here. Price action is kind of trading sideways in this area. We could have drawn another one here that matches up almost with our 200 SMA, right? So again, you don't need to use the big chart to trade. It just helps, right? And especially like early off the morning. I'm lazy. I don't want to put in all of these demand zones. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. It's just too much of a headache. So if we look at Andre's calling for eyes here on Nvidia, we've got lows from Wednesday sitting at around 484. We've got lows from today sitting at around 484.60. Drop, bounce, never even tested the 20, coming back down. Hourly chart coming back down here. If it starts to lose this range, which if I extend it into the Wednesday's pre-market 483.60s, it's gonna get dicey here for Nvidia. Your entry through a previous hour low, the opening range is 484.50s, but again, 484.50s can come down to 483.60s. That's $2. You might be able to make some money there. And if it loses 483.60s, forget about it. It could flush, right? It could flush. $251 area on Tesla has room to 250.60s. That would be Wednesday's lows. So Tesla's already confirming its previous hour's low. Potential would be the 250 60. 250.60 would be first stop on Tesla, and then we would be looking for 248.50s. Nvidia confirming these previous hour lows here, guys. Keep an eye on Nvidia. Keep an eye on Nvidia here, guys. Starts to confirm that opening range wick. Could have some room down. Guys, on the future side of things, who's got eyes on futures? What are we doing on the NQ? I'll also like to have that confluence, right? Is the NQ breaking down? Are we getting close to testing that first hour opening range lows? If we are, and Nvidia confirms 100%, you know, could be a good trade here. Same thing with Tesla continuing to wash out. Like 484.50s here. There's that break. Be looking for 483.60s on Nvidia. See if this thing wants to squeeze for a buck. See if that thing wants to squeeze for $1. There's Tesla, guys, coming into that price level we had, the 250.60s, right? If you guys are short through previous hour lows here of 251.70s, you got $1 on Tesla. Did anyone take the previous hour low break on Tesla, guys? You're coming into that 250.60s, which is going to be Wednesday's low price. Now, anything below 250.60s has maximum potential into 248.50s. So again, if we break 250.60s, take profits through that area. That should put you up $1. What did Amazon do? We're also watching that Amazon. Look at Amazon 137.90s, guys. 137.90s on Amazon if it wants to give it up. Meta's not doing shit. Microsoft not doing shit. Apple not doing nothing. Everything else is holding, just not doing anything actually. Netflix off the highs a little bit. Guys, for all you guys who like to play these smaller stocks, 65.85 on Shopify. Wait for a confirmation on a new hour candle. 65.88, 65.85. First a little attempt here, Nvidia getting sucked back up. Broke the previous hour's lows, only went down about not that much, getting sucked back up here. $483.63 is the lows. So what I would look for on this Nvidia short here is, you know, 487, 487.80s to get rejected and then start to lose 483s. That's the thing about playing these big stocks. We got a huge range here, right? Right now we're looking at about a $2 spread on a 5-minute candle, bare minimum, $2. Big spot here on Nvidia as well. It's going back to Tuesday's price action of this week, where we kind of consolidated all week. If you just kind of, you know, like just use your eyes, like we broke out from here, we pulled back in this area, we broke out, we consolidated sideways, did shit for a day and a half, and then we pulled all the way back down to this original spot that we held. So again, you know, if the bulls want to hold, this would be the spot. If they do start to give this level up, it's going to be trouble. Could flush. Nvidia is down 7. What are we thinking, guys? 481 potential on Nvidia if we lose the lows again. 481.20s, 481.60s. Tesla lost the 250.60s. Previous hour low was 251.60, so we're down about a buck. Anyone take that? We do have potential to 248, guys. Take profits in 248. If it continues to push down, take your profits into 248, 249. As of right now, market's setting up a higher low, right? Higher low. If I'm looking at the ES, first drop, a little bit of a bounce, second drop. This is a higher low. So I still like this level here. I still like that level. If we don't put in a new low. If we put in a new low, then that play's over. This play is over if we put in a new low. We would have to hold this. But I do like long this way. Same thing with the NQ. So we got the drop, we got the bounce. I like this level long, higher low, Day's low. I like that. Does everyone see that? But if we put in a new low of day, all bets are off. Looking for that display here. Maybe might have a little room through the 25s on the NQ into like 10s, maybe 10, 15 points back into this demand zone. Yeah, that'd be a nice little scalp there. This was a good little play on a firm, small baby stock, but over pre-market highs, put in a high, back tested, and now we bounced. So like I'm telling you guys with those NQ plays and all that other stuff we're looking at, same kind of chart pattern. You get the breakout, you get the pullback, you want to be buying here on the run up, anticipations of selling at the high of day or letting it break out again. So it's the same kind of setup that's happening with the NQ as well as the ES. All right, so if you look at, right, we broke down, we didn't break up, then we bounced. Now we're putting in this low. If we can push higher, you want to be long here or you want to be short through those 25s back down into this area. And then if we do lose that area, this market can wash today. We can flush. So we're kind of just teeter-tottering around there. So far being rejected at the 5 SMA on the 5-minute time frame. Right now, your range on the NQ is about 30 points. It's about 30 points, high to low. Keep that in mind. 5280 trades. There's your little 10 points right there, buddy. There's your 10 points. Did you capture that? That's your 10 points right there. You had it at the 25s, right? So 25s into, got it. Beautiful. That's how it's done. Boys, do we see how that's done there? Do we see why 5280 took that trade here? Watch these low of days to get broken here. Do we see why he took that trade? Right? We have this low through the 200 again, right? We've got this little bit of consolidation. We bounced into the 5 here. If we were to lose that 525s, we had potential to start testing this previous low of day, right? Back into this green box here. He pointed it out there. That's a good trade. Look for 10 points. Look to get in. Just get the hell out, right? Again, because the last thing you want to do is think that you're some rock star trader because you took a short entry here and then don't take profits in this zone, right? You don't take profits in this zone and this thing does something like that. I've seen it happen, right? So again, realistic expectations, guys. Have realistic expectations. Drop, bounce, drop. Here's your lows. Here's your bounce. Boom. Right back into that demand zone. Did anyone take the NVIDIA? Andre was sitting on it. I need to hear from Andre if you took the NVIDIA, guys. Did you take the NVIDIA? That 483.60s levels getting tested there. Previous hour lows was sitting at around 484.50s. Right? Do we see the first hour candle here on NVIDIA? The lows through the linear regression. Short here, down about $1. There's your low. There's your potential. Again, if you get profits, take it. It's Friday, guys. It's getting later in the day with each minute that passes. Not trying to be here all day. Do we see why the 483s is holding on NVIDIA? It's going back to this pre-market action from Wednesday, right? 488.50s, 488.40s, 488.60, or 483. Do we see that? 483.40s to 60s. We see why NVIDIA's having trouble here. But if NVIDIA starts to break and lose 483.40s, we could be looking at 481.20s. Wow, look at that Tesla. Who was in the room who had the Tesla short at 255? Traded all the way down to 248. I had it up there too as well. Jeez. What are you gonna do, you know? Stay patient, guys. If NVIDIA doesn't wash here, it might need one more bounce. Guys, if you get if you're short Tesla and you get this breakdown through 483.40, sell on the new next low. Also, the NQ, that 498, is also perfectly correlating with the 1 hour 50 EMA. If we start to give up the opening range lows and we lose that 50 EMA, lose the day's lows, market could sink here. We could be down looking at the NASDAQ 100 in the next hour if that happens. If that happens, again, it doesn't have to, but the potential is there. We got a Bollinger Band, we got a 50 EMA, we've got lows from the overnight and the opening range here. We've got a lot of support here, but if we start to crack the 498s, that low of day on the NQ, look for things to get aggressive. There's a 483 40s break on NVIDIA. Potential to stretch possibly another dollar from here. There's that low of day break on the NQ. 483s was the low. 5280, did you take that for another 10 points? I know you were looking at the 495s. Did you take that for another 10? Guys, did anyone take the NQ through the day's lows? 498s? 498s? You got about 10, 12 points there. Did anyone take that? You got a little bit of a late fill, huh? Came right back. It came right into that Bollinger Band. Came right into the 5-minute Bollinger Band. And it snapped back. Yeah, hold runners to break even. Hold runners to break even. We don't want to give away any profits, especially on a Friday. Especially as we go later in the day. We don't want to give back anything. I'm not giving these guys back shit. Oh, okay, yeah. So you got another 10 points. So you just pulled 20 points out of the market in the last 30 minutes here. 20 points out of the markets. This NVIDIA is getting hung up here. It's trying to build a little bit of a base floor here at the 483.40s. Hey, have a great weekend, buddy. Good trading today. New hour candle. New hour candle is forming. New hour candle. If this Nvidia doesn't wash, I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to stick part into this thing bouncing all the way back up here. I'd like it just to continue and see if we can get a little bit of a move here. If we do see a bounce, I would look for it to bounce into this area, but I don't really want to see that. I'd rather just people get their money and get the hell out of here. Did anyone take Nvidia through the first hour lows at 484.60s? I could see a little bit of a bounce coming here into lunch hour, which is not really what I want. Nvidia has also lost its 5-day moving average on a daily time frame. Nvidia could pull back into 476 on a macro run, meaning into next week. Any confirmation next week below today's lows on Nvidia could pull into 476. That's what we would be looking for next week. So you're in on a 5-minute play on Nvidia. What are you talking about? Oh, you have runners. You're going to use the 5 SMA as a stop. Makes sense. Nvidia is still pinned between the low of day and that 5 SMA. Watch for the break over the 5 SMA though. That puts you right back into bounce territory that we don't want to be into. because I don't know if I want to be through this type of bounce. There's that fucking break. Flush. Flush. 483. Guys, did anyone take that through 484.50s? That was the low of day on the first hour candle. Wash this son of a bitch down. This thing has potential to 481, 482.50s. Guys, that's the fucking move. That was the fucking move. Look at that. First hour's lows here. Zoom in for everyone. First hour's lows there. Confirmed last hour. Put in that new low. Continuation. Potential to 481. But again, 482.60s. Entry was 484.40s. I'm out. I'm out. I don't have time to be messing around with this on a fucking Friday, guys. Look at it go. If you got runners, hold them. Sell one, sell two, hold one, sell one, hold one. That's how it's done. That's how it's done. 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 So NVIDIA's potential is 481.5. Doesn't have to get there. If you are short, take some gains, right? Take some gains. You got the Bollinger Band creeping up now. I could see a little bit of a bounce coming from here within the next 30 minutes. So again, if you did take the short position through the original low of day, right? And Penguin actually had it through pre-market lows up here, 480, 490s. That was a hell of a move if it would have held that. He made a good play on it, but he was literally in on that analogy. You know, do you want to jump out of the first story floor or the 10th? You know, he was definitely in off the first story. You know, my play here through this low of day was definitely not first story. It was more so like the third or fourth floor through the 484s, right? So I captured about $2 on that move. Again, contracts were cheap. And again, full disclosure, 25 contracts. Because they're cheap. That's why. I don't normally play 25 fucking contracts. But when the contracts are sitting, there goes NVIDIA again, flushing more. When you got contracts that are trading at, you know, between 90 cents and $1.50, why not load up 25 on a Friday? Boom. Andre's out. Another hell of a day. Another hell of a day. So there it is, boys. That's about it for those few of you members who are left in here. That's how it's done, right? So we're in about an hour and a half after market. Stay patient. We had multiple setups. We had setups off the bell. There goes NVIDIA continuing to flush more. I'm sure that me and Andre will look back at this and the video will be down fucking 25 by the end of the day, but that's just the way that it goes, right? So what I'm saying is, yeah, we had initial plays off the bell all the way around on a lot of things, and then we had second setups that came after the first 30 minutes, right? So, example, that first opening flush here on the 5 minute time frame off the bell, 635, lost the 20 and the 200 SMA, confirmed short, between the 550s all the way down to the 500s. There was 50 points there. Then we had a little bit of a dead cat bounce, and then we had that second push through the low of day that went from 498 all the way down to 480s. So that was about 18 points there. And yeah, it could go lower if we do start to lose 75s. But again, if you made money on a Friday and we continue to, if you already made money on a Friday and you continue to sit there at the screens, the bigger chances you have to give it back. I would say just get off the screens if you're already green. That's it for me, guys. It's time for my morning Starbucks run. Then I got to go for a walk. I got to take the dog out. I got to do all sorts of shit this morning. Again, if you guys have any questions, I'll be around in Discord. Definitely drop them in there. Use the room to your advantage. Again, don't sit there quietly if you're in a trade and you're not comfortable or you don't know what to do. That's the last thing you want to do as a trader, is be uncomfortable, right? So again, use the room. We've got good guys in here. I'll see everyone next week. Hell of a long weekend here, so enjoy it, right? Get off the screens. Do whatever you guys need to do. Spend time with whoever you guys need to, and actually enjoy the 3-day weekend. But I'll see you guys all in the Discord.